All right. I did not know I was a sunburn. Anyways, good morning. I don't know if you know what these are. You probably don't. We got a bunch of them here. I've got to send out. But for those who haven't got their books yet and have left a review for the podcast, not this one on iTunes, of course, on IG, but on iTunes or anywhere else, just screenshot your review, send it to me in a DM, and you will get one of these. Anyways, I'm not here to talk to you about that today. Today, I'm here to talk about how to train your audience. I don't know if you guys can hear that. There's a bird. That sounds kind of cool. There's a bird outside. That's like chirping. But anyways, really quick, before we get inside the day going, I want to share with you guys how to train your audience. So, it's getting bright. Let's turn it off. A little too bright. So, why would you want to train your audience, right? There's a lot of shows out there, and I was listening to a friend of mine named Daxie Perez. So shout out to Daxie for this episode. It maybe reminded me how important this is. There's a lot of podcasts out there that have a lot of followers and audiences, but they don't do shit. Meaning they don't, like, the audience just sits there and they just listen. And they're like, okay, great. What's next, right? So the goal of a podcast is to influence, build trust, and to get people to take action. So how do you do that? The question to step back from that is, how do you build new habits? How you build new habits is you have a cue, an action, and a reward. Just like on a podcast, you need those three things. Well, actually, a podcast is one of those things. I'll explain in a second here. But the reason for that is because if you have a big audience, or there's no point in really having a big audience if you can't get them to do anything. If you can't get them to take action, if you can't get them to subscribe, if you can't get them to share your show, if you can't get them to actually buy something or follow you or join you in an event or something, it's pointless from a business perspective. From a human perspective, actually, because then you can't get them to take action to help them themselves, right? Any good advice you give them, they won't take action on it. So this is really important, is what I'm trying to say. I look really weird there. Oh, God. Sun's killing me today, guys. Sorry. Anyways, so the cue, action, reward thing. How you do that on a podcast? Well, one thing that builds habits is when you incentivize and you actually, people get a good feeling or they get a good response from doing something, right? So the podcast, think of the podcast as the cue in this scenario. This is the cue. The action is your call to action, basically what you're telling them to do. And then how you reward them could be a number of different ways. You could reward them with a gift card. You can reward them with just recognition on your show. Simply shouting them out. So let's just say you had a challenge to do like a 7-day challenge, a water challenge. You said, hey, the people, or a water fasting challenge, let's just call it something like that. The people who actually do this challenge, I want you guys to take a picture of your water and send it to me every single day in Instagram. And I'm going to shout you out on my podcast, and I'm going to bring you on as a guest. That could be basically a reward. So now you're training people basically on how to follow up and take action on the things that you say. So again, the podcast is the cue. That's like telling them what to do. It's kind of the signal. The action is whatever the heck you want them to do. And then the reward is how you basically build that pattern into their lifestyle. So you're getting them to take action on what you say. Super important. Cue, habit, or reward. That's going to build basically their ability to take action on the things you say, which is super important when you maybe want them to go somewhere with you. Maybe you want them to join some kind of group. You want them to buy something. So whatever the case may be, training your audience early on, meaning having daily simple actions or things they can do and try, and then rewarding them to do so is super important. Because you want to always train your audience to take action and to, in a sense, obey what you say. It's as weird as that sounds. As manipulative as that sounds, right? Anyways, that's it. Train your audience to take action on the things you tell them. Make it seem like it's... Remember how habits are formed. Cue, action, routine, or cue, habit, routine. Basically, you tell them something, they do it, and then you reward them for it. Very simply, right? A lot of ways you can spin that. Anyways, if you need help with your podcast, DM me. For the month of June, I am going to be doing one-on-one calls that are going to be for the show, and we will jump on a call. We'll break down your biggest problem, pain point, marketing, podcast, pain point, whatever it may be, and we'll go from there and we'll help you. So anyways, I'll catch you guys later, and have a good day.